Hello, everybody. My name is William Rubio, and I'm going to be presenting my final discussion presentation for my EDUC010 class. My presentation will focus on a specific learning strategy that I learned throughout the course of this class, with this specific learning strategy being the types of reinforcement. So there's two types of reinforcements, one being positive and one being negative. And although one of them, this being the negative, does sound a little unpleasant because of the connotation that the word negative carries, they are both rewards. So they're both a good thing. So just to start off with the definitions, positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is the act of rewarding a positive behavior in order to associate completing tasks with enthusiastic motivation for the next time a task needs to be completed. So an example of this is going out to eat at your favorite restaurant if you finish studying by 4 p.m. So this is a broad example, but to specify it more to my specific schedule, this would mean finishing my studying for my biochemistry class at 3 p.m. Because I finished it on time the way I was supposed to, or the way I set myself the goal to do, I can go eat at Chipotle at 7 p.m. when I get out of work. As for negative reinforcement, as I mentioned, although it sounds like an unpleasant punishment because of the connotation that negative carries, negative reinforcement is actually a reward that removes something undesirable from one's schedule. So an example of this is not having to attend office hours because you completed your assignment and got rid of questions you used to have. So this example is for a student who may not like to attend office hours and prefers to do Zooms or email instead because they don't like the pressure that comes with that one-on-one feeling or environment that office hours provides. So in order to avoid this office hours, that they are avoiding, they complete their assignment. So by doing this good thing and completing their assignment, they get the reward of not having to attend these office hours. So these are the definitions, but now moving on to the question of like, does it really work? Is Are these types of positive and negative reinforcements really effective? I believe they are, and I will get into my experience on the next slide. But as for a study that I read about, linked at the bottom, titled Teachers' Classroom Instructions Reinforcement Strategies in English Language Class, adding these reinforcement strategies to students and classrooms' way of operating will be beneficial towards their order and efficiency. So, according to the study, it was determined that to find the effectiveness of reinforcement strategies by teachers in their classrooms, there would be an investigation on these teachers' classrooms and the way that they would operate with or without the reinforcement strategies. So some classes and their teachers would implement these reinforcement strategies and other classes wouldn't. After the study was conducted, it was revealed that giving positive reinforcement to the students was important as they increased teacher-students interactions, as well as prove that making reinforcements is more powerful than punishment to encourage students' positive behavior in class. So it was revealed that the teachers who did implement these positive reinforcement strategies, which by the way, in this specific study were giving verbal praise to the students after completing a task or giving specific classroom specific rewards such as tokens that they can use on assignments or to get actual rewards. These classrooms were the ones that saw an increase in the learning and wanting to learn from the students. As for the ones that did not implement the types of reinforcements, not there was no increase in the amount of learning that the students would have. Now, as for my personal experience, I created a bullet point for what worked and for what didn't work. So, as for the positive reinforcement, this part of the types of reinforcement did work for me. It worked for me because it provided me the motivation to start and complete my assignments. This is obviously because of the enjoyable reward that I was offering myself if I did do this. So yeah, usually my positive reinforcement included food, such as eating out at my favorite restaurant. I already mentioned Chipotle, but sometimes this positive reinforcement for me also included having a smoothie at the beginning of my task so that as I complete it, I'm rewarding myself with a sip. As for the negative reinforcement, I don't think this necessarily worked for me as it worked in the opposite way, which is not good. What I mean by this is that instead of completing an academic task in order to remove something undesirable from my schedule, I would actually complete tasks that were non-academic, such as washing my car or cleaning my room, and then reward myself by putting off my academic assignments for another day. So moving forward, I think instead of using both positive and negative reinforcement strategies, I'd focus more on the positive because it gives me something to look forward to. Whereas the thing that I'm looking forward to in the negative reinforcement strategy isn't necessarily, or I switched to something that isn't necessarily academic. And I think that makes it worse for me when it comes to my learning process. This has been my presentation. Thank you.